Hi, everybody. My name is Wadey G from the G Listed. Make sure you check out my blog at theglisted.com and follow all of my social media platforms, which includes YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram by going to the G Listed. You guys, I hate that I have to do a video where I have to call out a fellow black gay man for either doing or saying anything that I feel is destructive or dismissive of his own kind. In this video, I have to call out RuPaul. From everybody knows RuPaul from RuPaul's Drag Race, or during the 90s when he had hit singles like Work, Supermodel, and the list goes on. Oh, he had a really good talk show going on at VH1 in the late 90s. First and foremost, I have to say that I appreciate RuPaul as an entertainer. Through his RuPaul's Drag Race platform, he has built careers for over 100 people in the LGBTQ community that we know of. It could be, I'm sure that number is even double or 5 times the amount of of 100, but we know of 100 drag queens who got careers and superstardom from being on that show, and many of those drag queens were black. So with that said, I want to salute RuPaul for his platform and what it has done for people in the LGBTQ community, especially people of color. However, where I find the problem, or where I find it's problematic for RuPaul's platform as an entertainer, is when he wants to be an advocate for certain things. He's a full-blown advocate for everything gay. And I'm saying gay. I'm not saying LGBTQ. I'm saying for everything gay. But he happens to be silent or passively existential when it comes to black LGBTQ, trans, and anything else that we can consider as non-gay within the LGBTQ community. So people have been up in arms over a tweet that RuPaul posted regarding the Charlottesville, Virginia attacks that's been going on at the hands of white nationalists, where one woman who has been a big supporter for equality for black people, Jewish people, Latino people, gay and lesbian people, and so on, because a white nationalist decided to take his car, run through the crowd against the anti-racist protest that was going on last weekend in Virginia. So many celebrities and us, regular people, have been putting in our 2 cents through our social media, condemning all the violence and the hatred that has been going on in Virginia, and just the support of it from President Trump by keeping silent about condemning the real hate that was going on. So RuPaul, of all people, decided to put his 2 cents in a tweet. And his tweet said, racism has nothing to do with race. It is the ego's way of making you feel, quote unquote, better than. Resist Charlottesville. And I apologize for saying I gave it the wrong city in Virginia, Charlottesville. I believe I said Charleston. So I'm correcting myself. So I know you people out there in the comment section probably already commented, but that's not the point. So I read that and I understood the backlash that RuPaul was getting. I felt like it was less than smart. I feel like it was very existential, and this is where I have to tell somebody like a RuPaul for putting a statement out like that, stay in your own lane. You have shown yourself, RuPaul, to be about everything pro-gay. You will call out and say with the biggest mic that you can to talk about anything that's anti-gay and talk against it, but when anything is done anti-black, anti-trans, or anti-anything else, you are either silent or you say something passive that really comes off as existential, that does not make sense. First and foremost, Racism is about race. Why is the word race in the word racism? When have you seen or heard of anything that's based upon racism that has nothing to do with someone's color or ethnicity? That's what racism is about. And I'm getting back to that quote where he says it has to do with ego feeling better than. Well, feeling ego and feeling better than anybody is usually, when it comes with racism, it's always about race. One feels better than someone else's race. One who has an ego based upon their race and how they feel about other races. So RuPaul, I have to say shame on you for that, and stop speaking upon racism, because let's not forget how RuPaul defended, I don't know if it's former friend now, but it was a friend named Lucian Payne, who's a former guest judge on RuPaul's Drag Race back in 2016. I believe it was the month of November. Yes, it was the month of November. Lucian let out a Twitter rant calling out all kinds of racial slurs and ethnic slurs, including, if black people stop being so ashamed of themselves, we could call them niggers and they would laugh. Backwards shit. Another tweet. I love RuPaul and he is the wisest nigger I know. Another tweet. If Jews stopped the Holocaust victim shit, we would get along. Hashtag truth. Another tweet. Someone please explain why Chinese guys have such tiny dicks. Another tweet. Started as a bottom, now queer that nigger faggot at Drake. So, he kept going on and on. There was so much response from the LGBTQ community and just people who were against all of the slurs that he hurled out there. And people were wondering when will RuPaul sound off on that, and RuPaul did. RuPaul gave one tweet that said, if you only knew how fragile your own mental health is, you wouldn't be so cavalier. Many people took that as not going towards Lucienne, but to people who had to call Lucienne out on that. And then followed up with this tweet that said, show some compassion, please. So again, another passive, could be interpreted any way, but did not call out the use of the nigger word, use of the faggot word, and all the other slurs and demeaning stereotypes that Lucienne Pian put out. Now, I must say that Lucienne has not been back on RuPaul's Drag Race since the racist rants. We don't know if he will ever come back, but the damage was done. There was a call for a potential boycott of the show, which, if there was a boycott, it didn't do any damage to RuPaul's show because it went to VH1 to even bigger ratings than ever before when it was on Logo. So what do you do at this point? Well, do you protest? Do you protest RuPaul? Do you protest the Drag Race? I love the show. I must say I am entertained. I really don't watch it for RuPaul. Watch it for all the contestants that I get to learn, that I get to be admired by their journey and what they do with their opportunities moving forward. As far as RuPaul, I respect RuPaul as an entertainer. We all should respect RuPaul as an entertainer, and that is his place. He is not an advocate for anything outside of gay, and I mean white gay platforms, agendas, anything. You saw how he treated trans people when there was this uproar about using the word she-male during his show. One of his clapbacks was, in other words, I could say whatever I want because I'm not using the word she-male in a derogatory term towards trans people, and my show pays the lights for the Logo network. In other words, he could do whatever he wants to do, and if you want to take him down over it, just know that your network will be over. So let me know how you feel about this. Oh, and then let me just get to the point about black people who I feel a certain type of way defending RuPaul's non-pro-blackness at all. you're in the same boat as him. And I'm going to say that about you right here on this platform, which I just did. You are the same as him. Anyways, my name is Weighty G from The G Listed. Make sure you check out my blog at theglisted.com. Follow all my social media platforms by going to The G Listed. That includes YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Bye.